Hey, good morning, fellow currency lovers. This is Kyle with Variety and Airs. Thanks for coming to another bill search video. Let's go right through what seems to be some pretty beat up bills here that were in my wallet over the last few days. See if we can find anything that is collectible or worth more than face value. Starting off with a Series 2013 $10 note. Good repetition of fives. I wish that these 50s would have went across the rest of the serial number to form a fancy serial number. But too bad. Really beat up $10 note has definitely seen its day. Nothing jumping out on the front. It's hard to tell, too, with the amount of kind of moisture damage and folds and stuff. But a little bit of highlighter, it looks like, here and here. So nothing on that guy. Moving on, folded up $5 note. Let's get these kind of in order going on here. Fix some of these folds and stuff. Check out the back of my hand for a second. There we go. Hey, good repetition again. Almost a repeater note. So 5656, blah, blah, blah. Block repeaters, regular repeaters, stuff like that is just what it sounds like. It's a fancy serial number with a repetition in the digits. I get a lot of questions about this as far as minor repetitions like this one, 5656. Unless it spans across the whole serial number, I wouldn't really call it a repeater note. It's just happens to have a couple of the same digits. Series 2013 note, really beat up as well. Nice and folded up, a couple tears to it. This 5 has been used in many transactions. Nothing on the back there. Kind of equivalent 5, really folded up here as well. Kind of get it as smooth as I can. You know, really not too bad of condition overall, minus the folds and stuff. It's pretty crisp in the center of the note, but, you know, still worth $5, even though it's not necessarily worth something more valuable. A good depiction of the Lincoln Memorial. Really cool exhibit. Something cool to check out if you're ever in the Washington area. Nothing going on there. 2017 A $1 note. Now, nothing's, you know, with the other denominations of U.S. currency, there's been updates and stuff over the last 10 to 20 years, both graphically and anti-counterfeiting wise. But with $1 notes and $2 notes, there's been zero upgrades, really, to speak of since the 50s. So they're really due for graphics changes. They have discussed that multiple times, but COVID kind of put a stop to that. Nothing the serial number, nothing print-wise really jumping out at me. Look at the back of the note. Little bit of a wet ink transfer from another note when these were first produced and stacked atop one another. Nothing crazy there. 2013 series $1 note. Little bit of over ink on the 8, but nothing crazy. Little bit of a stuck digit there on that 7-5. But unless it's really sitting high, I call them ticker notes or odometer notes because it looks like your odometer kind of rolling up. But as you can see, it doesn't repeat it over here. You can see them a little higher over here on that 7-5 on the end. But it's not enough and really out of line enough for me to hold on to as an error note. And nothing on the back. Great repetition of digits. Lots of 9s. 29, 42, 99999. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of stray ink going on. You can kind of see little snippets of ink throughout the bill. So as you can see, it kind of coincides with the word 1. It makes it look like he's got some food dripping out of his mouth on the portrait of Washington. Kind of goes back to my previous statement, although there's a couple things going on, some over inks and stuff like that on some of the digits. With that 4 thrown in there and it not being really a pattern, it's not going to be something for me to hold on to. Kind of a light shift here in the seal and the serial numbers. They're sitting to the left. Really common over ink on the 3rd digit from the left. That's kind of spans across a lot of the bills from 2013 and 17. There's nothing crazy there. 2017 series $1 note. Probably the best looking one so far. It's not too beat up. It's got a little crimp up here in the top, but otherwise is a nice crisp $1 note. Nothing jumping out at me as far as print issues or anything. Move on. Bifolded bill here. Series 2013. Nothing crazy going on the serial number. Printed appropriately. As you can see, this seal's not sitting way over to the left like the one we just looked at from a couple bills ago. Aside from that, nothing really crazy. There's nothing different graphically from this one to other $1 notes, aside from maybe the signatures on the bottom. Too much damage there for me to really tell if anything is collectible. A lot of ink wear just from use. It's all worn off from just getting folded multiple times and put in pockets and transferred from hand to hand. You know, the portions of the bill that are going to deteriorate the most first are the depictions on the bill. The seals and the serial numbers are printed intaglio, and so they're printed in the bill as it's going through the three-phase printing process that U.S. currency undergoes. So that's why seals and serial numbers are generally the last thing to wear from the bill. Nothing on the back. And Series 2013 also, a little bit of kind of a blur from the 0 to the 1 on 2013, but you can still read the date pretty well, so therefore it's not going to be anything extra collectible or anything like that. Kind of a weird fold or damage right here. Looks like maybe a rubber band or a strap was put on it at some point that kind of slid over. Aside from that, nothing really crazy as far as graphics. Back of the note. Nothing else. A little bit of water damage. You can see some discoloration along this fold where it's kind of browning out. That's from being in a pocket folded or a wallet and then just getting handled by really oily hands. Series 2013 $1 note. Nothing crazy. Little shift up in the seals and the serial numbers, but nothing too out of bounds. Nothing in the serial number. And nothing jumping out on the back. Next note, little bit of a raised 5-5 on the end there. Would have been nice to have a couple different digits, but almost a broken ladder. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. Now, one thing that's weird with this one is how off the serial number is. You can see how it's kind of like got a U, kind of a U shape in its printing, which is kind of neat. Still not crazy enough for me to hold on to, but that's a first really seeing that. So where the ends of the digits on both sides are kind of raised up. Nothing really crazy. I like to keep an eye on the lettering around both portions of the seal, as well as the leaves of the branch in its claw here, its talon, as well as the arrows. Sometimes you can get some blurring or misprints around those, but not in this case. Kind of a double year note, 1565, 1495, but nothing crazy that wasn't in American history since it didn't exist yet. Other than that, just a thing to keep an eye out for is date notes, birthday notes, things of historical importance that are date-wise in the serial number. Nothing jumping out there. Kind of some damage, what looks to be just like ink or something that's spilled on this one. So nothing crazy there. Nothing there. Last couple of notes. 03. Here we go. Got ourselves a date note. But let's look at this one first, and then we'll come back to that guy. Nothing the serial number, 2017A. And a little bit of water damage. That's what that rippling's from. And nothing on the back. And then our little date note here. March 13th, 1907. I love when there's dates in here. You know, obviously something fell on this date. That's kind of around approaching World War I. So I will look up the date, see if anything important happened on this date, and put it in the description box below. But a minor find. I love me some date notes, especially on US currency, and especially, of course, in date ranges that were during US history. And I like to look them up, see if anything historically important happened on that day, and then I will post it in the information description box below. Not too crazy of a find, no fancy serial number too bad, other than this little date note, no error notes or major misprints, but still a really fun bill search. I'm looking forward to hearing what you've come across in your coin and bill searches lately, so put that in the comments below. I will talk to you guys there, and I will see you in the next video.